The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. To you, O Lord. This is how the birth of Jesus Christ came about. When his mother Mary was betrothed to Joseph, but before they lived together, she was found with child through the Holy Spirit. Joseph, her husband, since he was a righteous man, yet unwilling to expose her to shame, decided to divorce her quietly. Such was his intention when, behold, the angel of the Lord appeared to him in a dream and said, "Joseph, son of David, do not be afraid to take Mary, your wife, into your home. For it is through the Holy Spirit that this child has been conceived in her. She will bear a son, and you are to name him Jesus, because he will save his people from their sins." All this took place to fulfill what the Lord had said through the prophet. "Behold, the virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and they shall name him Emmanuel," which means God is with us. When Joseph awoke, he did as the angel of the Lord had commanded him, and he took his wife into his home. Evangelium Domini. Good morning. Can you believe it's only a week to Christmas? For all you dudes, you got 7 days. You better hurry. You actually probably got 6. But it seems like Advent has flown by this year. This year has flown by. But today, beginning this fourth week of Advent, we focus on our fourth theme, which is love. Love. Love that God has for us. Love that we are asked to share. Remember the 2 commandments, love God and love your neighbor. But as I was preparing this week, there was one word in that gospel that just hit me, and it kept coming back. Behold. Behold. It's not a word we use, is it? When's the last time you used the word behold? I can't remember except just a second ago. That word has lost its meaning in our world. In the time of the people, the Old Testament and the New Testament, do you know how many times behold shows up in the Bible? Over 1,400 times. 1,400. 1,200 times in the Old Testament, and almost 250 times in the New. In Hebrew and in Greek, behold means to fix our eyes upon, to see with intention, to observe with care, to direct our mind, to truly see, truly see. I think in modern terms, we would say behold would be don't miss this, pay attention, you've got to see this, or if you don't pay attention to anything else, see me, see me. And I think the word behold is special to us today because I want you to think, when you think about that word behold, it's more than seeing. How well do you behold? When you think about your life, when you think about your relationships, how well do you fix your gaze upon another? How well do you pay attention? How well do you pay attention to God? Or, as I said last week, are we scrolling? Are we too busy to notice? Are we too confident in our own decisions? Are we too stubborn to see the signs that God gives us every day? How often, this is the opposite of behold. Disbelieve, distrust, and disregard. How often do we do that to the signs of God in our life? So, my sisters and brothers, today, beginning this Advent, do you want to behold the signs that God has given us? What if your life really worked the way God has planned it for you? Would you not live differently? Would you not see things differently? And I'm talking about not this week, the rest of your life, because God is asking us to behold him, behold his son in this world. And so you say, well, I don't know, how do I do that? You got Joseph. What a man who never said anything in the Bible. No words were ever written from that man. But he received a sign from God. He had already made up his mind. We heard that. He was going to divorce her. He was going to do it quietly. He wasn't going to shame her. He was already on his way. He was adios. But behold, the angel of the Lord appeared to him, and it changed everything. It changed the way with what he was going to do. I think if we think about him today, it gives us a clear path to follow. If you too want to learn how to behold, you think about what he did today. He listened, he trusted, and he acted. He listened. Begin with listening. The angel of the Lord spoke to him in his dream. He listened to every detail. He didn't hear selectively. He didn't remember just what he wanted to remember. He listened to everything. He didn't bombard him with questions. Well, he was in a dream, but still you can ask questions in a dream. He didn't come back and say, oh, well, this is what I hear you're saying. No, he heard what he was saying, and he took it in. He ignored his own desires, his own wishes, and he listened to exactly what he was being told to do, and he did it. The second is he trusted. Trusting is the basis of all faith. Trust is actually the basis of every relationship you'll have. Trust is the basis of your marriage. Without it, I won't go there. Trust. His wife's pregnant. Okay. What would you do if your wife and you're engaged and you've never had relations and she shows up, I'm pregnant. Okay. And it's by the Holy Spirit. Oh, okay. I really believe it now. But no, he did. Now that is unbelievable. I mean, that is a difficult thing to trust. But he did. He trusted. He trusted her, and he trusted the angel, and he trusted God because he was righteous. He had a right relationship with God. He trusted. He didn't come back with a whole bunch of, how could this be? What are you telling me? He just said, okay, I got it. I know what I'm supposed to do. It was difficult. Do you think it was difficult? It was. Do you think that he had issues with it? I'm sure he did. But he trusted God, and he trusted that God had a plan for his life and his family. And finally, after he listened and he trusted, he acted. He did something. What does it say he did? He didn't delay. He didn't act on his own timetable. He didn't get busy. He didn't say, let me check my schedule to see if I have time to do this. I'll get back to you when I've checked my schedule. No, he took Mary into his home immediately. And then, not in the gospel today, but he took them, they fled to Egypt. He took them to the manger. He raised his son, Jesus. He was the earthly father. He acted. A man with no words, but a man whose actions were louder than words. He beheld the signs that God gave him, and he did something. He acted on them. So my sisters and my brothers, my challenge, God's challenge to you, beginning today, is to behold. Behold what God has for you. Behold the signs. There are signs every day, little things, nothing dramatic. I'm sure you're not going to have a dream with an angel. You might, but to see Jesus in other people. Remember, his name is Emmanuel. God is with us. He's here. He's here. He will be here soon. Do you believe it? Do you behold? Do you gaze? Do you fix your mind upon it? Are you willing to accept the signs from God? Are you willing to say, I will open my eyes, I will see what God has for me? And it's difficult, especially in Christmas, because we're busy. And this is Father Whitfield out of Dallas wrote this. The thing about Christmas, packed with its customs and its routines, is that it becomes a season so rote that we miss the mystery. Often, what steals Christmas from us is the season itself, its parties, the presents, and the planning, which is why we must find time somehow, some way, to open ourselves to God and to behold the truth that only He can whisper, which only He can show you. My friends, let us adopt the ways of St. Joseph. What a wonderful model for us. Again, we will never probably experience dramatic angels in our lives, but God intervenes every day. Be willing to change your plans when you feel Him speaking to you. It's the ordinary things that matter. It's not extraordinary. God operates in the mundane because that is the life we live. He wants to work through us. He will work unexpectedly for you. My friends, I ask you, behold what is in front of you. God, your wife, your husband, your children, your friends, your family. Learn to behold. Open your eyes. Open your heart. Ask God to give you the eyes to behold His wonder, His love, and His mystery.